Here's my problem with BookTube. I love talking about books. I just hate everything else. I mean, no, I don't hate it. It's just that I am not good with the technical stuff. So like setting up the camera and then editing, it's just not my area and it's a challenge. But anyways, I keep trying. Hello everybody, I'm Roxy, this is Biography, and today I bring you my Women in Translation TBR month. TBR. I don't really know a lot about how this initiative was started. I know there is the Instagram of the founder, so I will link that down below so you can check that out. But basically, yeah, August is the month where a lot of people try to read more women in translation, and I think that's great. I'm planning on doing a full video about this, but basically I think that when people think about reading diversely, they often don't think about reading people from other countries whose experiences are completely different, or not even completely different, but just are set in contexts separate or more distant from the US and the UK. And I think that's also very important. And that's why I love reading books in translation by many authors of as many backgrounds as possible. And actually I wasn't thinking about participating this year because I just didn't think I had enough on my shelf to grant like an official entry or official video, but clearly that's not true. I was going through my provisional shelves that I've put together here at my dad's apartment, and I just found all of these books. All of these are quite short, save like 2 exceptions, so I think it's actually pretty doable. So let's just start. First I have A Nail, a Rose by Madeleine Bourdouxhe, and this is published by Pushkin Press, and it's translated by, let me tell you, Faith Evans, who also wrote an introduction. So this is actually a collection of short stories, but I've already read one novel by Madeleine Bourdouxhe called La Femme de Gilles. That's the title in English. It's not like I am forcing myself to learn the original titles. I really loved that book. It was actually one of the best fiction books I read, I think in 2018. I will check and put the wrap-up down below if it's available. It was about this woman who was so in love with her husband, she was willing to let him have an affair with her sister because she loved them, but especially her husband, so much. But her whole sense of self is also shattered by the fact that he doesn't want her anymore. And it's fascinating, it's heartbreaking, and yeah, I really wanted to read more by her since I read that, and I think a short story collection is the right way to go. Then I have The Housekeeper and the Professor by Yoko Ogawa. This will be my first Ogawa novel, although I did read one of her short stories because it was included in the Penguin Book of Japanese Short Stories, which I've been dipping in and out of and I've been loving. So yeah, this is about a housekeeper who works for an eccentric professor. That's all I know. It's supposed to be great. This is of course the vintage cover designed by Yoko, who's one of my favorite illustrators, and I'm so happy that I have this edition in particular because I wanted to read this for a long time, but for some reason I never bought it, and I'm so happy that I waited. Then I have Miss Ice Sandwich by Mieko Kawakami. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I remembered, of course, that I bought this, but I didn't remember this was by Mieko Kawakami, and that's amazing because I just read the short story she has in the same anthology, and it was amazing. And I really want to read her new novel, Breast and Eggs, but I don't want to buy more books. I mean, I want to, but I'm not going to because I need to read my books. I'm happy that I have something of hers. The only thing I remember about this is that it's narrated from the point of view of a young boy. This is also from Pushkin Press, and it's translated by Louise, Gilles, Kawai. So yeah, another Japanese book. Wow, I can see that theme. This is also a reread, Strange Weather in Tokyo by Hiromi Kawakami. And this is about a young woman who falls in love with her high school teacher. I mean, they meet after years. He's an old man now and she's a grown woman. And they have this very strange relationship, and it's a whole meditation about intimacy and barriers, because there's the age thing. It's like a line is there, but they are still together, and especially the narrator is like so in love with him in a way. But of course you have to ask yourself why. I remember I enjoyed this, but I think I need to revisit it to pick up on the more subtle clues or subtle moments, if that makes sense. It's a very quiet, introspective book, and I just think about it a lot, actually. That's always a good sign. Looking forward to rereading that. This is an edition in Spanish of The Ball by Irene Nemirovsky, and this is about a woman and a teenager actually, and her mom. And the mom is throwing a ball, and she's like the type of controlling mother that drives everyone insane. It's about their relationship as a mother-daughter, from what I've known. I remember I got this secondhand because someone was selling this and something else via a Facebook group or something, and I had to meet a stranger in the subway to exchange the money for the goods. That was a long time ago. It's finally time I get to this. Well, probably you don't care because it's translated to Spanish. I still want to credit this person, who is Gema Bartolomé. Yeah. Then I have a nonfiction book, which makes me really happy because, first of all, translated nonfiction is very rare, in English in particular. In Spanish, it's very common because most of it is translated from English. From other languages, not so much, unless it's like philosophy. But in any case, this is Gentleman Jack, a biography of Anne Lister by Angela Steidele. This is translated by Katy Derbyshire. Ooh, and there is another subtitle here. A biography of Anne Lister, Regency landowner, seducer, and secret diarist. This is also for my Curious Adventure Nonfiction Challenge, so I'm very excited to get to this. I'll link down below to my TBR for that. The last book, I told you it wasn't such a big list. It's Human Acts by Kang. And I've read two of her books, The White Book and The Vegetarian. I've loved both. So I'm very excited to get to this. It's supposed to be amazing. It's about school protests, I think, and one of the protesters is killed, and it's supposed to be very intense and emotional, like all of Kang's work from what I've gathered. I'm very, very excited. This should be translated by, Deborah Smith, who is Kang's sort of official translator, which I just found out that she learned Korean just because she wanted to, through translating Kang, and actually other translators kind of hate her for that. But the author herself has said that she loves her translation, so like no one can say anything about that. I think that's fascinating. Also, how gorgeous is this cover? And I love that it has not really French flaps, like they are like fake French flaps, but they work so well. That's it. I'm so excited for this pile. I don't think I've been that excited about a TBR in a while. It's just such an eclectic but fabulous bundle of books. I'm just so excited. So yeah, that's it. Comment down below if you've read any or all of these books, or if you are interested in reading them. Are you participating in Women in Translation Month? If not, I encourage you to do. Just pick up one book in translation by a female author. I think it will do you some good. Okay, that's it. If you like this video, please hit a thumbs up, please subscribe, and see you next time.